Hello,
Good morning,
hello. What's
everyone,
going on?
again. Hey, hi, Mike.
Hi, Fabio. How you doing this morning?
Awesome. Good to be here. Very
Yeah,
excited
great
for
to
this
be here.
event.
Yeah, I'm excited as well. Always love to see the new MenthorQ Gamma Levels editions here. And today we're going to be covering the new edition of the Crypto Gamma Levels, which is super awesome. Um, I believe previously they did cover crypto futures, but now they're using the actual crypto options. So, yeah, very excited.
Yeah,
So,
super excited. And we show you some really cool stuff in the presentation today. But yeah, I just want to welcome you here. It's been great working with you guys. So we're very excited for what's coming next. We love the platform, and I think there's a lot of opportunities of leveraging both our data with your platform, which is awesome.
yeah, no, there's lots of cool stuff still coming. Back testing, that's something that I'm super actually excited for.
Yeah.
Being able to back test um, with these gamma levels. So that'll be pretty sweet. But even now with these crypto levels, I mean, it's only been what, like a month, couple months so far, and we're already getting these updates. So love to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to have some new indicator coming in the next month or so with historical levels, and of course more to come as well in the next few months. So we're
Awesome.
very, very excited.
Yeah, so I'll probably be back up here again. But for everybody in the chat, welcome. Thank you all for joining. We started a few minutes early just to get all of you guys in here. So tell us where you're from. Tell us where you're tuning in from, whether on X, YouTube. We'll see it in the comments here. And yeah, if you guys aren't already TrendSpider users or MenthorQ users, both of us are on sale. TrendSpider is running our Labor Day sale. You can grab a trial for just $7. You can grab a trial using the link that we'll probably drop in our chat below. And also MenthorQ, we have a coupon code for them where you can get all the indicators and scanners available on TrendSpider through MenthorQ and their dashboard and everything for $59.40 a month, which is, I believe, like 40% off. So you can do that right here on the TrendSpider store page. We can drop a link in the chat for this one as well. So definitely take advantage of these sales. And if you want to go ahead and follow along, definitely a good price to do it at. So
Yeah.
yeah, ES is looks like a little bit slow today, honestly, for the most part. Pretty choppy price action here on the 5 minute. They pull up the gamma levels. It's like it's just sitting right around that put support 0 DTE. So
It's
pretty
been a
slow
choppy
there.
day for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, Fabio, whenever you want to go ahead and start your presentation, feel free to do so. Fabio has an awesome presentation about the gamma levels, specifically on crypto to show you guys. So I'll let you take that away.
Yeah, sure. So thank you, Mike, for that. So I'm gonna try and keep this as brief as possible, and then try to cover everything. But basically, just for those who don't know me, I'm the founder and CEO of MentorQ, and previous to that, I worked in finance since 2007, working primarily with what we call traditional data. I was working for Bloomberg. I was selling data to large institutions, and then I moved into another field, which is the alternative data field. In that experience, I was able to work closely with large hedge funds, and I really understood the importance of data right now in the trading environment, and that's when we started MentorQ. So what we do at MentorQ is really take a lot of complex information the retail traders might not have access to or might not be able to decode. We then create actionable signals in the form of levels or models. We're going to show you some of those in the crypto world today. And then basically we give you access to that through a lot of different tools, like the integration with TrendSpider, where you can access our data directly on the chart, or through our dashboard that we're going to show you as well. We cover already 1,300 assets. So for those who are joining with TrendSpider, you can actually access all our coverage directly on the platform, whether it's stocks, ETFs, indices. But today we're also going to focus on crypto. So we do have access to that as well on the platform. And why are we talking about crypto, and why are we talking about crypto now, and the reason is very simple. Over the past few years, we've seen really an embracement of the crypto market coming from the institutional world. So what you see here are some of the headlines from like a year ago or more than a year ago, where basically all the big institutions like BlackRock or Grayscale are now looking at launching crypto ETFs, right? So that was very, very big moment a couple of years ago. But also we've seen a dramatic growth in the derivatives market. So if you look at just the crypto derivatives market, we've seen a big increase there. And if we look at this chart over the past 5 years, the derivatives exchange on crypto has really more, grown for like 5 times or more. So we are now sitting at, I think it's around 5 billion, 5 billion of daily volume here, open interest. And basically that's a very, very important number, because typically the option market on crypto was not as important as it is today, and it's going to keep growing. And that's why we're looking now at crypto models and looking at crypto gamma levels. So within our platform, you can access different tools to monitor the crypto market. We have our gamma models, gamma levels that we're going to show you on the TrendSpider application. We have our quant models, and also we are now obviously integrating directly through the platform. Who can use these tools? So who can actually access and leverage those tools? So it doesn't matter whether you're a crypto, long-term investor, a day trader, a scalper, or even if you're just looking at like swing trading on crypto. The derivatives market is going to play a very, very important role. So understanding the forces that can move the crypto market can be very important. So you could use the tool if you're day trading crypto, if you're just taking weekly position, or if you're just looking at investing in the long term and want to understand what's going on in the crypto market. The coverage. So these are the coins that we cover. So we have different models that are looking at price action. So we would cover all of these coins on our quant models. So from Bitcoin to Ethereum to all smaller coins. And then if we look at our gamma levels, then those would only be on certain coins, which are the only really coin that have certain amount of volume. So basically, like there's not a lot of derivatives volume on all the other coins, but we still provide you with quant models on also the other currencies. So we have a lot of different crypto coins that we cover. We also cover 3 exchanges. So we cover Deribit, Binance, and OKX. If we look at the derivatives market, the majority of the volume is still going to be on Deribit. So when you look at different sources, Deribit is still going to be the better one because it has the largest volume. And then we have Binance, of course, another very important one. And then OKX is a smaller exchange for derivatives on the crypto side. So I would say Deribit would be our main source of data coming from the derivatives market. And basically, what we do with that data is we create our models. So some of these, some of you guys who are already using those on stocks, ETFs, and indices, you can now use those on crypto. So whether you're looking at term structure on Bitcoin, or swing models on Ethereum, or just simply a net gamma exposure on Solana, you'll be able to find those in the platform.
Yeah, just curious, Fabio, since these crypto options are, much newer, they're kind of like an emerging market, if you would, like, how does using these gamma levels differ, if at all, just on regular stocks and, options, just in the, the futures market or the index options? Like, I'm just like, those are a lot more liquid. So I'm just curious if there's any like nuance to these crypto options since they're so new.
Yeah, so I think the main difference between the normal options and the crypto options is that crypto is 24/7. And also the settlement works a little bit different from the traditional options. So you typically have 9:30 to 4 p.m. Typically, like all options do not trade overnight. With a crypto option, you can actually trade 24/7. So I think that the main difference is there. They tend to behave also a little bit different in terms of the underlying index that they follow. So it was quite challenging to build those gamma models on crypto. So we had to dedicate a few months of work just to understand how this market worked, but essentially we did that. So yes, it does work a little bit different. It's also evolving, but I think the idea behind it, the hedging activity behind it, would be very, very similar.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Definitely being in the 24/7 market, it's definitely like a first in the option world. So, and I know there's like on the gamma levels, there's the end of day and intraday options. So does the end of day options, does that just pick a time based on your time zone to continue updating, or how did you guys decide, like when they close, I guess?
Yeah, so we were looking at when the new data comes in. So when the updated data comes in from the provider, and we take that time. So the crypto data, the end of day, updates at 8 p.m. Eastern time. That's when we get the new figure for new open interest, updated open interest, stuff like that, which is important, obviously, in the creation of kind of the gamma levels. When we look at intraday, we are working on intraday on crypto, so it's going to be available in the next few months. So right now is still end of day, but we will be working on the intraday data as well.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, makes sense. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah. So then, how do they look on the chart? And we're going to go into kind of like the TrendSpider application, similar to what the levels that you use on different assets. You'll be able to plot those on TrendSpider. You could also use the ETF's data to convert potentially from an IBIT, for example, to a Bitcoin and so on. So you have full flexibility. But I think before we go into kind of the gamma models, I want to maybe spend time in looking at also some of the other tools that we have, which is our really quant models. We are working with the TrendSpider team to also potentially integrate those charts into the application. So this is something that we'll be working on in the next few months. So very exciting, because you'll be able to potentially add those to your TrendSpider dashboard as well. And then maybe we can discuss this further, Mike, when you go into the platform. But essentially, like, why did we develop quant models? Right? Because it's important that you are able to, especially in the crypto market that moves really fast and is very driven by sentiment and macro environment, to understand whether we are in a positive market for crypto, in a negative market, and whether the direction of my crypto coin is bullish or bearish. So we developed 3 models, and I'm going to go over some of them, and then we can go into the dashboard to see how to look for them. But essentially, the first indicator that we develop, we call it the crypto risk on and off. And why is this important? Because crypto is really driven by macro, by what happens to the US dollar, by what happens to the stock market. If you remember, during COVID, the market dropped and crypto dropped faster because it was a risk asset. So understanding if we are in a risk on or risk off scenario by looking at the macro environment can tell you if it's a good time to be in the crypto market, or if it's a good time to be out of the crypto market, because the crypto market is going to react stronger than other assets, right? So when we are in a risk on scenario, which is when we see the indicator on the green quadrant, we are essentially in a bullish environment for crypto. When we are in a risk off scenario, we are in a bearish environment for crypto. So essentially, this is going to tell you it's going to give you some indication on whether it's a good time to potentially buy or sell crypto, potentially by looking at what's going on in the macro environment. Cool. And why is this important? Because the cryptocurrencies are high beta risk asset. So they tend to behave like small tech companies. So whenever the market goes up, they outperform. Whenever the market goes down, they underperform, right? And also, it's a risk asset. So whenever something is happening, so when we were talking about tariffs, the market is panicking. The first thing they're going to do is sell crypto. Before they sell their stock position, they're actually going to sell their risk asset, whether it's emerging market, crypto, and so on. So typically, when we are in a bearish scenario, bearish market at the macro level, the crypto market doesn't perform as well. So it's good as an investor to understand when we are in that scenario.
Definitely. Lots of money to be made, but lots of money to be lost at the same time, the risk to reward. I'm just curious here for these, what is kind of like the general like time frame? Like, is this risk on, risk off, like more for like swing traders, like overall market sentiment, or is it kind of like shorter term, like the gamma levels, or?
This can be used both for swing trade as well as for day trading. So this is kind of like a regime like change, right? So it doesn't matter
Right.
if you're day trading or swing trading. If you see that the regime is changing, then maybe you want to adjust
Definitely.
your position. So if you are a long-term investor and we are moving to a positive regime, then that's good for you because potentially there could be a good upside. If you are a day trader and we are in a negative regime and you are thinking of going long, then maybe you want to evaluate the data and what that is telling you, basically.
Yeah. Maybe in a bearish regime, day traders would maybe prefer shorts more. So,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
makes sense.
So it's very, very simple the way it works. And then we're going to show you how to find it. When we are above zero, we are in a risk on, and you can see it from the green quadrant at the top. When we are below zero, we are in a risk off. And then on top here on the chart, you will see a red arrow or a green arrow, very simple if we are in a risk off or risk on scenario. And then we can see some back testing in a second when we go into the platform. But essentially, this is a regime indicator. Are we in a bullish environment for crypto? Are we in a bearish environment for crypto? Then, of course, the way you define the trade, whether it's through option, whether it's through long spot or whatever futures, it really depends
Yeah.
on the user, depends on your strategy. But the idea behind it is really to support you with understanding what's going on at the macro level that could potentially affect your crypto positions.
Yeah. Very useful. Very useful. Excited to see the back test as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The second indicator is what we call a mean reversion indicator. So obviously RSI, everybody knows what it is, but essentially I'm going to show you why we developed this and why this is important. This is not the traditional RSI, so we call it the QRSI, which is our own version of an RSI indicator. It's The idea is very similar. We have an overbought and an oversold condition, but the calculation are completely different. And the reason why we did that is because we want to help you find the areas where the price could potentially revert. But again, using the traditional RSI not necessarily will work. And the reason is very simple. There is a really important concept which is called alpha decay, which basically, if everybody's looking at the same indicators, then there's not going to be any edge that you can find from that. So everybody's using the RSI, everybody's using the 30 level and the 70 levels to find overbought and oversold conditions. But again, if everybody's using it, then the market is not going to give you an edge. So that's why we are trying to solve that. We have create a statistical validation of the model, and basically we have obviously modified that, and you can access it through the platform. The idea is very similar. It works exactly in the same way, where we have an oversold zone below 20 and an overbought zone above 90. And again, it's a 0 to 100, similar to the RSI.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. And we'll show you guys, hopefully we get these in the platform soon, but we'll show you guys here in a second with the TrendSpider platform how you can also combine, these gamma levels, all this awesome stuff that MenthorQ is doing, making better versions of these indicators with traditional indicators too, just in case you guys are already used to that or used to using like regular RSI or MACD or whatever it is. The point is that, we have all these powerful indicators on one platform that allows you guys to trade however you guys want to, basically, and use scanners and all that stuff. So very awesome stuff here, Fabio. Love to see how you guys are, using your own data, bring it into the platform, and giving us, just awesome new indicators.
Yeah. And the last one is, and then we can go and show some backtesting results, is the Q crypto direction. So this is really trying to predict a direction. So it's a directional bias indicator. And obviously we use advanced models to potentially create this indicator. And the way it works is very, very simple. It goes from -1 to 2, when -1 is a strong bearish bias, 0 is a neutral bias, and then we have 1 and 2, which are bullish bias, strong bullish bias as well. So you're going to see at the bottom, you're going to see the indicator there. If we are in the green quadrant, then we are in a bullish bias. If we are in the red quadrant, then we are in a bearish bias. And you're also going to see some arrow. So when we are in a bullish bias, you're going to see a green arrow there. and when we are in a bearish bias, we're going to see a red arrow. So very, very simple. There's a lot of like calculation that goes in the background. So, but for the user is a really, really simple visualization, and you can kind of use those three in conjunction. So the first one is obviously, are we in a positive or negative regime? Then we're looking at directional bias. Are we in a bullish or bearish bias by looking at the second indicator? And then when can we get in and how can we get in? We can use the QRSI to potentially spot some nice reversal areas or some nice entry level.
Yeah, no, it's a great workflow. Great workflow.
So this is really, I'm going to show this. It's just really a simple back test. This was taken 2 months ago, so it doesn't account the recent Ethereum rally. When we launched the product about beginning of July, we took this data and we showed you, we created a simple back test. So essentially what this does is the red line is the buy and hold of Ethereum, and the green line is using the risk on and risk off indicator. The strategy is very, very simple. We go long Ethereum if the indicator is above 0, and we go short Ethereum if the indicator is below 0, and then we exit when the indicator switches. So very, very simple. And as you can see, you can quickly tell that here there's a very, very strong correlation with what's going on in the macro environment that could have given you an additional performance in the round of 200% at the peak here by just following the risk on and risk off indicator.
Yeah. I'm sure if like you didn't want to short either, you could just probably sell out of Ethereum when it goes short, just in case people don't have access to like the ability to short crypto. But very cool. Nice back test.
Yeah. And then we also back tested the RSI, and this back test is a little bit more kind of like advanced, but essentially we buy when the RSI is below 20. And when we look also at the moving average, so when the 5-day, when the price, the close today was above the 5-day moving average. So if it's not above the 5-day, then we don't buy. And we also buy when the RSI is above 90. And the reason is simple, because crypto tend to be very trending markets. So the traditional RSI can give you some really false signals. So when we see an overstretch to the upside, then that means that it could also be that the trend is actually continuing very strong. Right. So we actually don't go short here. We just buy at 20 and buy at 90. There's no stop loss, and basically we sell after 10 days. So if we have an entry point, then we just keep the position for 10 days. And as you can see here, the red line is again buy and hold Bitcoin for this period, and the green line is the kind of like RSI strategy.
Yeah, no, that's actually very interesting that it buys both when RSI is oversold and when it's signaling a trend. No stop loss, and then just sold 10 days after. Very interesting. And you can see it's a pretty smooth and not super volatile equity curve, especially when compared to just holding Bitcoin, which is, you know, what you want to see and it outperforms. So yeah, very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and the issue is also this, like a lot of retail traders that follow those 70 RSI signal, they might be chopped out, because in reality, the crypto market moves really fast. So even though you see an oversold or overbought condition, not necessarily will mean that the price will revert. So that's also why we developed the new RSI indicator that we provide to the platform.
Yeah.
And then this one again, very, very simple. So we only buy if the direction is a buy signal, and then the 5-day moving average is greater than the 20-day moving average. And then we sell, sorry, the 5-day, and then we sell if we see a sell signal in the direction indicator, and then we use the moving averages. And here we apply a stop loss of 2% and a take profit of 10%. So very, very simple back testing, nothing too complicated, but essentially can give you an idea on how you could find basically an edge using those indicators together.
Yeah. So it looks like you're combining the crypto direction, like your proprietary indicator, with like basically a moving average cross, which is, you know, traditional simple indicator, but essentially adding an additional parameter to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and the goal is always the same, Michael. So you want to add data. So similar to what institutions are doing, that they add multiple factors to their strategy. As a retail trader, you obviously do not have all the technology to be able to do that. But essentially, you're trying to overlay some additional tools that can help you find a better entry, or even like stay away from losing trades, which also can have an impact on the performance.
Oh, very cool. Very cool stuff you guys are doing.
So next, I think we can go and look at the platform. So when you guys log into your dashboard, you're going to see a set of menu here. So we're not going to focus on futures and stocks, but essentially we have our crypto menu right here. And within the crypto menu, we have 3 sub-menus, which is our market summary. Here is essentially a watch list of all the crypto coins that we cover, together with the 3 indicators that we have here. So you have your RSI indicator, your direction, and your risk sentiment, which is the risk on, risk off environment. So we are still in a risk on scenario for crypto, but now the direction has turned bearish. So again, there's a divergence there. And the RSI is 76 on Bitcoin. So you might want to pay attention to that data and see how that looks like. Then if you go under the quant models, then that's when you're going to be able to access the different indicators. So first we have our Q score here on crypto as well. And then at the bottom, you're going to have your first, again, regime indicator. Are we in a bullish or bearish regime? So as you can see here, when we saw, you can quickly see how the indicator could have performed here. So we had a buy signal at the top here, with a sell signal here, some conflicting signal on this side, but essentially here there was another buy signal. There was this nice rally that we saw, and now we are kind of like approaching the 0 range. So it's very interesting to see how we behave there.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it very easy too, just green arrow and red arrow takes all that data that you guys have working in the background, just makes it super easy to read for all us retail traders. So
yeah. And then once you understand the regime, so essentially we are approaching potentially a risk-off environment, right? Let's see what's going to happen in the next couple of days. But then once you have that, then you can go into, okay, like, I think we're still in a bullish environment. Let's see how the direction plays out. So the direction actually has been bearish for quite a few days, right? So here you see how the indicator was bullish at the beginning of August, and then now we kind of like in a bearish. So again, we went from 120 almost to now we are at 110. Let's see what the price is today. But essentially, you can combine those here as well.
Yep. And is that daily charts using, or is that shorter?
Daily chart, yeah.
Daily. Okay, nice.
The daily indicator.
Yeah.
So essentially, the workflow is really you would look at your market summary, and then depending on the coin that you trade, you can actually go into the technical models, the quant models, and then you can go into the gamma levels. So how can the option now support me in my day? So once I figure out my plan, so if I want to buy crypto or sell crypto, then how can I use then the gamma levels on the platform to potentially find my entry and exit levels?
Right. So you can use this dashboard and then pull up the gamma levels for those, really deep, actual levels to buy or sell on your chart.
Yeah. And then finally, the RSI indicator as well is trying to provide potential reversal or reverting stages on the price. And as you can see, it's pretty accurate. Here we were able to find this rally. Here we were able to kind of like find the consolidation that we saw here. Then here we saw another big rally there. And then now let's see what could happen. Maybe let's see if we found support at the bottom, or let's see if the price is going to revert. But yeah, this was also a nice move there.
Yeah, definitely. And just curious, how often do these dashboards update? Is it like once a day?
Yeah, once a day at 8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah.
Nice, cool.
Yeah. And then the final part is then once we define our plan, then let's go and look at what the option market is telling me. So here what we do is, if you use option, I would suggest to use the Deribit exchange. So whether you're using Ethereum or Bitcoin, we can open up the Deribit exchange, and the reason is that there's more volume on derivatives on Deribit, so it can give you like better ideas. So here what we see, we are in a positive gamma environment, but we have a neutral score both at the option level and momentum level. So the market is kind of stalling. It's not really bullish, it's not really bearish. So we need to see what's going to happen there. And then we can open up the different gamma chart for the next expirations here. But we also have our swing levels. So we have our 5-day swing levels here. So what this model is telling you is the levels for the next 5 days. So we have to be paying attention to 103,671 and 114,814. Those are the levels for the next 5 days. These are the historical levels, so the historical bands that we provided 5 days with 5 days in the future. And then what this shows you here is the success rate of the model. That means like if the price of Bitcoin in this case will be above 103,671 in 5 days from now, then we consider that a success, and that will account for the success rate that we see here. So as you can see, basically the price kind of moved above these bands for 93% of the days. So how can you use that? Again, if you are looking at taking stop losses or targets, then those could become your targets. If you are playing with options, you could use that as your strikes. Or if you're simply playing direction, you can use that to potentially find the areas where you might want to get in and get out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Definitely very useful for swing traders, and the success rates are pretty high. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we also have other models. We have more advanced models like skew, term structure, volatility smile. So all of those, for those who are trading options, that can be very, very useful. If you are a directional trader and simply trade price action, then of course, what you can do, you can come into the platform, connect your TrendSpider account here, and then you'll get access to the indicator. And then Mike, I think you're going to show that in more details. But essentially, the step to get set up is very, very simple. You need to have a TrendSpider account. You need to have a MenthorQ account. Once you get both, you can come here. You can activate your email right here, and then our team will basically enable you for the indicators that you will see on the chart, and you have access to 3 indicators, but we're growing the number there as well.
Yeah, awesome. So yeah, thank you, Fabio, for that awesome presentation. Definitely helped rekindle my memory a little bit on all these gamma levels. And I just wanted to show off real quick here. If you guys aren't already MenthorQ and TrendSpider users, you can use the links that we have dropped in the chat to pull up the MenthorQ store page here on the TrendSpider store. And we do have a coupon code you can use to get MenthorQ for a discount at around $59 per month. And also TrendSpider is running, it's our last day of the Labor Day sale right now, where you can try the platform for just $7. So if you're already a MenthorQ user and you want to try out what I'm about to show you here on the TrendSpider platform, you can do so today, last day, for $7 for 14 days to trial it. And then you get up to 50% off. So, and then once you are a user of both MenthorQ and TrendSpider, you'll get access to these 3 different indicators right here. Of course, the gamma levels is what we're going to be really focusing on today for crypto, but it also comes with the blind spots and conversions. And one of the biggest value adds TrendSpider provides for MenthorQ is our scanners. You're going to be able to scan for stocks, cryptos, whatever, all the available assets that are trading, at put support, at call resistance, the 1-day min, 1-day max, and the HVL levels in real time. So let me go ahead and open the TrendSpider platform, and I'll get a little bit more into it. So once you are a member, you'll get access to these indicators, which you can go ahead and add right here at the top of your platform. I think Fabio just showed this, but you just type MenthorQ, and then you'll see them all pop up. And all you have to do is just click gamma levels right there. And in that dashboard that Fabio is showing, they do have an API key. And once you add the indicator, just make sure you add the API key right in here and then press apply. I've already done that, but that is how you add the indicator. And so now you can see it on my Bitcoin chart. You can see the gamma levels. And if I extend my indicator list and go to the gamma level settings, you can see I have my API key in there. And there's a few things you can customize. We brought it up a little bit earlier. There's end of day and intraday levels. Again, the intraday levels is going to be the more updated ones. It updates several times per day, where end of day updates once per day. And then you can also hide and show any of the levels you want. Like, for example, I have a lot of the JEX levels hidden from my chart, but you can easily put them back on just by clicking on them and then clicking the visible box right there, hitting apply, and then you'll see those JEX levels on your chart. So, and it doesn't stop there with TrendSpider, because you can access all of MenthorQ's indicators, of course, but you can also combine all that stuff with any other indicators that you may have, including your own custom indicators, which you can actually use on the platform. There's tons of custom indicators already available on the TrendSpider store for free. Like, if you go to our store page here, you can see tons of different indicators. We just had a hackathon where people submitted, over 80 indicators to our store. So there's tons of cool stuff in there now. But yeah, the benefit is you can see these gamma levels directly on your chart in real time, and then you can combine them with other indicators. Like, for example, a really easy one to use is our combined RSI ensemble indicator, which we can drop a link for in the chat so you can check it out on the store page. But all this one does is just paints candles green when 3 different RSI lengths are showing oversold levels. And of course, super easy to read. And then it paints candles red when the RSI is showing, a few different overbought levels. So these, in combination with these MenthorQ gamma levels indicator, can just be that extra confirmation for you. And you can also build them into scans, which I'll show you in a second. For example, if you see, Bitcoin here coming down to put support, and you see, or the 1-day min, and you see these candles turning this bright green right here, it's just a little more extra confirmation for you guys to, confirm your bias, confirm the trade entry level. And you can do this again with any other indicator. Another cool one that we have access to for you guys for free is like the auto fib bands. And these, basically what they do is they plot Fibonacci retracements automatically on your chart. And not only can you just view them on your chart, you can actually right click any of these levels, including the gamma levels, and create alerts at these lines. To one, of course, is send you text messages or alerts when price is reaching these levels. But you can also route these alerts as trades into your broker. We use something called Signal Stack. It's a TrendSpider product. And all you do is connect to your broker. We support tons of brokers. And then any alerts that fire within the platform can actually place trades live in your broker. And it's super quick, actually works really well. And so any lines that you want to use, whether it be, like a trailing stop, which you can add, or even like this 50% Fibonacci retracement level, you just create an alert at it. And then you can do breakthrough, touch, or bounce through that level. Select your different confirmation candles from 5 minutes. And then you just put in a note there to Signal Stack that says, sell my trade. This is a stop loss when this alert fires. And you can easily do that. So that's another way you can use TrendSpider to go ahead and help automate your trading. And then one other indicator I want to show you guys real quick too that would be useful along with these levels is this multi-scale VWAP cloud. Again, I have Bitcoin open right here. And basically what this VWAP cloud does is it plots automatically on your chart the last 5 anchored VWAPs per day, week, or month. Figure for a lot of the people interested in gamma levels, you'll be mostly day trading or like very short-term trading. So I have it set to day right now. So the last 5 days anchored VWAPs are currently plotted on my chart. And again, these can be used as, just levels in combination with the MenthorQ gamma levels. If you see them line up, just some extra confirmation for you. And you can even use them as trailing stops or take profits. Right click them, create an alert at them, send them as actual orders into your account. And it also continues getting better because not only can you just view, these levels right on your TrendSpider chart, which is obviously beautiful and nice, but instead of looking for, like these levels to line up or your specific trade ideas based on maybe your own custom indicators, what you can do is use TrendSpider's market scanner down here to combine all of your signals into a scanner to find exactly what you're looking for at any given time in real time. For example, if I wanted to use our combined RSI ensemble indicator here and only find or see stocks that are trading at put support and showing 3 oversold lengths of RSI, we can do something like this, where we put in the 2 parameters for put support and put support 0 DTE and say price is within range of those by 1%. And then we also add the combined RSI as probably oversold and surely oversold, which means the candles are green. And then we just press scan. It's going to find any assets, whether it be crypto, stocks, indexes, anything that's available in MenthorQ, which there actually is a nice watch list that I believe Fabio has in the dashboard for you guys to import that you can use in our scanner. But if we just kind of look through these, you can see exactly what I mean. So you can see all these assets should be within 1% of put supports and have these green candles. So we'll go flick through these, and it's just an easy way to see multiple things happening at one time, and you can use any of your indicators here. If you click through all these, you can see they're all going to have these green candles, which means the RSI lengths are all oversold, and it's also trading right next to put support. Again, like Fabio was saying earlier, you can kind of combine, these proprietary gamma levels with some of your more traditional indicators just for that extra edge. And you can put them in scanners, and if you have your own custom indicators or signals that you look for, you can also incorporate those and combine them with the gamma levels. And you can do these with, I also built one for the MenthorQ or the Fibonacci levels. For example, if you want to see stocks trading at the 61.8% level or the 38.2% level and at put support, you can run a scan like this. As you can see, I just have the auto fib bands indicator in there. The 61.8% level is within range of the price by 1%. You actually get quite a few results right here, and you can just click through them and easily see that. Let me put them on my chart. Just these are the auto fib bands. And so basically this one's going to find stocks trading right around, like the 61.8% level, I believe this one is, or the 38.2. And then also right next to that put support, which is very useful. Saves you a lot of time if you have specific entry criteria that you're looking for to combine them in scans and find them in real time. So real quickly, I'll show you the process of kind of building these scanners, because it's actually really easy. So all you do is press new scanner in the market scanner down here. And by the way, on the MenthorQ page, we have multiple scan templates that you guys can import, like I showed earlier, like the put support scan or the call resistance that we've already built for you that you can leverage. But I'll show you real quick how to do it basically from scratch, because it just takes a couple seconds. I'll just add a condition group here. Condition with an indicator. And for the MenthorQ levels, we recommend using the 30 minutes just because that's the lowest one that you can go. But it's still going to be updated, as much as MenthorQ is updated. And we'll type something like MenthorQ put support gamma levels to have it pop up. And you see just the put support parameter shows up right there. And then you can do is within range of the price. I'll just use the 5-minute. As long as you use the close price, it's always going to be the current price, and you click current candle. Make sure you do this current candle box, and then you can change. You can change it from 1%. If you want to be really close to the price, you can do like 0.5%. Kind of depends on the asset. And then you can also change this from all the following to any of the following, because I put support, but I'm also going to add the 30-minute 0 DTE MenthorQ put support, so we can find stocks trading at either the 0 DTE level or just the regular end of day level. again, is within range of the price on the 5-minute close by, let's just leave it at 1% for now. Keep it simple. And then once you have your, this is basically what the put support scan template looks like from that you can import. And then I'll show you can add another condition group, and you can combine this stuff with anything you want, whether it be like fundamentals, chart patterns, candlestick patterns, your own custom indicators. For example, if you wanted to do like the one that I did with the combined RSI ensemble indicator, you just type combined RSI, and you can look for surely oversold, which is like the most 3 oversold lengths, and you can do this signal active, and you'll do all the following happen on the current simple, and even change it to happen within the last 3 candles, for example. And then, let me search through, and whenever you scan too, you can search through a list. Recommend using the list from Fabio's dashboard, which is called the MenthorQ coverage by MenthorQ list, which is going to cover all the cryptos and everything that MenthorQ supports. So go ahead and click scan here and see if anything pops up. So that one, nothing popped up there because there's nothing within that parameter. But if there was, it would have popped up. Let me see. We can also check out one I made too. Go back to the one I had pre-made here, like this VWAP put support. Let me click scan right here and see what pops up. And so when you click scan here, you'll see all these are going to be within range of one of the anchored VWAPs. Let me see. Turn off the auto fib bands here, and you see the gamma levels on your chart. And so you can see, put these on. There we go. You can see that all the stocks on this scanner are going to be within 1% of the put support levels, and also within 1% of any of the anchored VWAPs. And again, you can use these anchored VWAPs to set alerts and as additional confirmation for your trades. But that is basically how TrendSpider makes it super easy for you to easily find assets trading right at put support, whether it be on crypto, Forex, whatever you guys trade, and combine it with other indicators. As you can see, like here on Ethereum, the put support and put support 0DT lined up. That's why there's slash right there. And it bounced off that, rejected off these anchored VWAPs right here, which you could have used as a take profit. You know, you could have set a buy here at put support and then right clicked on this line right here to create an alert, get alerted when it touches that level, or even have it auto sell the position for you. So is there anything else that I missed, Fabio, or that you want to add? But that is essentially how I've been using TrendSpider and MenthorQ combined with my trading. Let's see, am I in here? Fabio, sorry, you're on mute.
Yeah, I think it's super powerful what you've shown there, because you can combine traditional indicators together with options data to get potentially a better idea, or even scan for things that are close to a level, as well as using your indicator that you obviously use for your strategy. So, which is awesome.
Right. Yeah. Being able to combine them, especially and find those, assets that are trading at your exact parameters in real time, is probably the thing I use the most on the platform for my own trading. Like, I don't even you don't have to go looking through your entire watch list every day, looking at your indicators. Like if, for example, if you just like to buy off the put support, I mean, you can spend hours just looking at stocks, reaching that put support level, or you can just build a scan to find it in a few seconds like we just did, and even combine it with other indicators, set your alerts, and be ready to go. So
love it.
Yeah, very cool stuff. And yeah, if anyone has any questions about either platform, TrendSpider, MenthorQ, or using them together, feel free to drop in the chat below. I'm more than happy to answer. Let's see if there's anything in here. Let's see. Yeah, it doesn't look like any specific questions, but yeah, I guess we can take a look at just whatever has happened today, intraday, on like Bitcoin, for example. Close that. Oh, and by the way, something I actually forgot to mention in the scanner, you do also have to click on the parameter and enter your API key for the parameter for it to work properly, just in case you guys were wondering. Like, even if you import it from the TrendSpider store, you got to have your API key for MenthorQ pasted in for them to work. And yeah, pretty soon we'll be able to, hopefully, if we get those historical levels, be able to do kind of the same thing that I showed you with the scanners, but also put it into the strategy tester and back test your strategy using MenthorQ levels and any indicators that you also may use.
Yeah,
So
very exciting.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be very cool. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, definitely leave them down below. We'll just take a look at the markets here. I guess, pretty chill day, even on crypto. Looks like Ethereum is up pretty good today, though.
Yeah.
It's actually starting to reach call resistance here pretty soon, which is interesting. See Bitcoin. Check out the daily chart here. I kind of took a hit last few weeks, but bounce off this support down here. BNB, BNB's actually been doing really well. I didn't really watch BNB a whole lot until I saw it on the MenthorQ list, but it actually has been performing pretty well as of late. So yeah, I guess I'll just say again, if you guys aren't members of either platform yet, we are both on sale. Again, the link to sign up for MenthorQ is right down below. There's a TrendSpider coupon code that you can use. And then also TrendSpider is on sale as well. You can try the platform for just $7 today only. It's the last day of the Labor Day sale. So if you want to test out these levels, test out the MenthorQ, our market scanner, definitely now would be the time. You got about 11 hours left. So
yep. Yeah, no, thank you, Mike, for this. I think it was awesome. Like, I mean, combining the two platforms is crazy. It's a lot of value that you can get from the data together with your infrastructure, which is awesome.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, especially the market scanner and soon the strategy tester. It looks like someone had a question. What he said, what time in Eastern New York is considered a new day for crypto since it's 24/7? I believe you said 8 p.m. Eastern, right?
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern is when we update the levels. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was like one of the first questions I had as well. So great question. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the intraday levels will just continue updating.
Yeah.
Throughout the day. Yeah. Yeah, throughout the day. So I can even show that. Like right now, they're set on end of day. We'll turn off.
Well, currently, there's no intraday levels for crypto yet.
Okay.
We're still working on it. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Okay, so end of day, which makes sense. I mean, they update so much. It'd honestly be kind of a lot to have, and picking those times to do all throughout the day.
Yeah, and also it's important to know that some of the big levels not necessarily will necessarily change throughout the day. Right. So like if you look at core resistance and put support, they might not actually move throughout the day, but the JAX level might move, yes, for sure. So
that's fair. Yeah. Someone's asking to take a look at XRP. We can take a look. All right, let's see. So it looks like we got a couple of put supports. We actually bounced really nicely off this put support 0 DTE and the HVL multiple times right there. That was pretty good, and broke through that lower put support. And maybe you can explain this HVL level a little bit, Fabio, because we already bounced off kind of the lower ones, the put support and the 1-day min, and we're trading right around there.
Yeah. So HVL stands for high volatility level, and it's basically a lot of in the gamma environment, people refer to that as gamma flip right. level. So it's when basically we are moving from a positive to a negative gamma environment. Why is that important? Is because market makers need to hedge differently, whether we are in a positive or negative gamma. So for those who are not familiar with that, we also have a lot of documentation there. But essentially, if we are in a positive gamma, it means that the overall market is buying more option than selling. So that forces the market maker to hedge little bit different than we are if we are in negative gamma. So if we are in a negative gamma environment, then the market is selling more option than buying. So the overall gamma exposure is negative. So market makers are selling when the price goes down and buying when the price goes up. And that means that whenever we have drops, it's also accentuated by the dealer hedging activity on the way down. So the IVO level typically is a level that dictates whether we are moving to a low volatility environment or a high volatility environment. So when we are in negative gamma, typically we're seeing more volatility. That doesn't mean that the price will necessarily drop or go down, but it means that you need to pay attention to that, because you might want to adjust stop losses that you have on your trade or your overall risk management.
Right. Maybe loosen the stops up when it's in a higher volatility environment type thing. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I'll give you an example. Like for those who trade NQ, whenever you are in a positive gamma environment, maybe your stop loss and take profit might make sense. But when you move to a negative gamma environment, then those are the days when you're going to see like 100-point swings in a few candles. So if you have a 30-point stop loss and you are in a negative gamma environment, then not necessarily that's going to be a good idea, because you might be chopped out very fast. So maybe you want to move to an MNQ, or maybe you want to adjust the, maybe have wider stop loss if you can
Right.
do that. But yeah.
No, that's cool. It'll be really cool if you can actually use that as a back test parameter too.
Yeah.
Whether you're in a high volatility environment or not, and adjust your stops based on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. Cool. But yeah, XRP, other than that, it's trading right above that HVL level right now. Then there's a call resistance 0DT and the gamma wall there at 295, and in that the end of day call resistance there is at 310. So definitely bounce off that put support pretty nice. Maybe that would be your next target, or maybe the 1 day max there. So cool. Yeah. If there's any other questions, let us know now. But other than that, we've been live for about an hour now. I think there's a very, very awesome presentation from you, Fabio. Learned a lot. Thank you as always.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you so much.
Great having you. Yeah. Always great to have you on. All right. So yeah, I guess we'll probably just go ahead and call it there. No more questions coming through the chat. Thank you everybody so much for coming and showing up. Hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. And we'll consider checking out, both MenthorQ and TrendSpider. Would love to see you guys on the platforms. Right now, they're both on a great sale. But anyways, thank you for coming. Thank you so much, Fabio. It was very helpful as always.
Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Mike. And any question, let us know. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, have a good one, everybody. See ya.